Okay, this is all there is. We are always starting with that, I think. This is all there is meaning this is what you feel, what is felt, what is seen, what is by the five senses, five senses. So there's no outside, there's no inside, there's no before, there's no after, there's only this. And this is, that seems a mystical word in this kind of meetings, but this is a very simple thing. It's just what's happening, and that's why we're talking about everything is one. This is also one. There's only one thing happening, you could say. That's the moving of the hand. That can be a feeling, it can be a sense somewhere, it can be some noise. And that's it. That's everything. So it's not a mysterious thing you have to look for one, or you have to look for what is everything or what is nothing. Do I feel nothing? No, I feel something, so I don't know. Or where is the me? Can I feel the me? There's nothing to look for, because that what is already it. It's the only thing there is. And the other thing, what comes around it, it's the, you could say, we call it the me, it's the dream of me, it's the abstracting of what is. That's what humans can. They have brains that are sophisticated enough to abstract things. So when there's a me, there's also a distance. There's also two things. There's somebody there, and that's watching himself, herself, yourself. There's also always somebody there, and there's what's happening. So there are two things. It's happening to you. It seems like that. So just sitting, it's when there's a me watching yourself sitting. And when there's a me, there's always also a search for what seems to be missing, what seems to be not right yet. For the search is for what is that has to be something that we have to make it right, because there seems to be something missing, but also there seems to be something not right yet. So there's a huge drive to make it right, to look and to search for that what seems to be missing, seems to be the up, how do you say that, the up, the unique thing, the perfect thing that was missing. So that has to be happiness or freedom or oneness or know me or everything. It's always something. It seems when there's a me, the only thing the me can is looking or searching within the dream of me, within the real world. Everything seems very real. The circumstances, the body, the buildings, the me. And when everything is real, the search is also in the world of real things. So you're looking for something. That's the only thing the me can imagine. This is not about something. There's nothing happening. So nothing is real. And that's a very strange thing for the me to hear, that nothing is real. It's only apparently real. And apparently it means that it is there and it's not. You can't make an image of it. And that's the amazing thing of this message. There are no, you can't understand it. You can't make an image of it. You can't get hold of it. So that's a really strange thing, and it's shaking all the beliefs. So when are some concepts about how things are, who you are, and what this is talking about, there can be a shaking, and then maybe that belief is not that strong anymore. That's what can happen in these kind of meetings. And underneath what can happen is it's also an energy. It's something going on underneath the words, underneath what is said or what is seen. And it's invisible. It's an invisible destroyer. And that destroys some really strong concepts of belief, or maybe it's in the body. Most beliefs are not only in the head, you could say, but also in the body. It's embodied, and it's so strong. There's no doubt about it. And then suddenly there's somebody saying something that completely is the opposite of something that hasn't to do anything with that belief. So sometimes there can be a going away because you think, now that's too odd, I can't follow it. And sometimes there's a resonance. You see, like, hey, there's something in it. I can't understand, but maybe there's something in it. And then maybe you're trying to understand and trying to get hold of it, or that's the way it is. That's the way it goes. That you could say that me is trying to make sense, to make it more visible, make it more normal. So any questions can be asked. If there are no wrong questions. When there are questions about wanting to understand, then it's about that. It doesn't matter. It's not wrong. So please don't hesitate to ask any questions, because any questions is the right question. That's just what's happening. And the odd thing is, questions are not from you, they're just questions. So there is no one, there is already no one. So when there are questions, it's just that energy is coming up and is expressed. So that's just what's happening. It's not your question, it's just life questioning. So it can't be wrong. Nothing can be wrong. There's nothing wrong or right. It's just what's happening. And that's huge, because when there's a me, there's also always something not right yet, or trying to improve or to develop or things like that. There's no need for development. There's no need for improvement. It's already what is. And that doesn't mean it's perfect in the way then it's only healthy, or it's only the energy is flowing. It's just what it is. This is not about having a better life. This is not about being more happy or being more free, or it's just what is. It's just describing what is. So it's very literally. So there's no right, there's no wrong. And there's also no time. Time is also something of the abstract mind. So when there's no time, there's no before, there's no after. So past, maybe people about the future, a lot of people can understand there's no future, okay, there's no past. It's already more difficult because you remember, there are rememberings of what has happened, but it's only a remembering. It's only a story, what the brain can, what in the brain is developed and can be shown. It's images. Sometimes it's even different as what other people are remembering. So there's no past, there's no future, there's only what is happening. So there's no before, there's no after. So there's also no guilt and no responsibility, because no one is doing anything. There's no one. There is already no one. So the search for no one, or to get rid of the me, is pointless, because there's already no me. There is no one. There's just body. And it's an apparent body, because the body isn't real. It's just energy. And that seems very odd, because we are so convinced, and maybe even more than convinced, that the body is real, and that you can touch it. But it's when it's felt, it's just a sense somewhere. It's not even known where it is. It's somewhere in space. There's a sense, that's it. It's very literally, but we're so used to immediately jumping on it and name it or know it. And this is about not knowing. It's not knowing. And that's for the me can be very threatening, because not knowing, the me doesn't like that. So the me is trying to know, because that gives a certain feeling of safety and control. But when there's knowing, it's also dull, because then you walk in the street and you think, oh, I already walked there about thousands times. So whoa, it's just a street. When there's no one, it's street. It's not every time it's like, oh, what a wonder, but it's new. So it's never dull. It's just new, not new in the sense of fresh new or special new. It's just new. So nothing is dull or already happened a thousandth time. It's just for the first time, you could say. So when there's no me, everything is fresh in that sense. There's already no me. So looking for no me is pointless. And there's also what is already what is. So there's nothing to look for. It's already complete. It's finished. There's no need for a search. That what's happening, and the way the body looks, the way it moves, the characteristics, that's what's happened. That's it. No improving, not becoming better, better behaving. That what is what is, and it can be pain or sadness or joy or nothing special, just walking. That's it. Very simple, very normal, very easy also. Nothing to look for, to be busy with. It's just what is. That's it. Okay, so when are people wanting to ask questions or say something or share what you want, please do. You can unmute yourself and we will have a chat.
Hi, Rose.
Oh, it's very loud. I'm sorry. Oh, wait, one moment. Hi.
I always watch your videos, and I always have a million questions that I put on your videos.
Mm.
And so I got on today, and I lost all my questions. I just
Oh.
I don't have any questions. I found it strange because I'm always full of
Yeah.
questions.
Yeah. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
feel like I'm imagining a wave, and you're on this wave, and all you can do is just try to get on the wave to understand what you're talking about.
Oh,
I don't
that
know.
sounds a bit complicated.
Yeah, that's me.
Yeah, 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 of course. But there's no wave. There's no way. We're always trying to make an image of it, to try to
Yeah.
understand and make a certain image and thinking, oh, maybe that's it, and then I can do something with that. It's more simple than that. It's
Do you
already.
think do you think that as you were, when you were searching and you were going to meetings, do you think that things just kind of fell away slowly, or did it all your everything happen at once?
No, there were you could say some awakenings in that sense, that then suddenly there was no one, and then uh, there was something, and then it came back, and it was maybe not the same as before, because then it was like, it was, for example, I was sitting in the garden, and then suddenly there was nobody. That was awful, because I never had been, I never imagined that there could be nobody. So that was it was not frightening, but it was so strange. And I was trying to eat and thinking, oh, maybe when I'm eating, I'm having it again. So something like that. And then, that lasted, no, I don't know how long. But I did phone Tony Parser, because I was like, oh my God, what's there? And he was said, oh, you get used to it. But it was there and not. In first moment, it wasn't there, and then suddenly it was there, but not the same. So that's what happened afterwards. You could say in the story, it was not that that solid anymore. So in that sense, there were some, yeah, moments, timeless moments. But I was
Has
very
it
strong in knowing, trying to know. That was how I did it.
has
Yeah.
your relationship with your family changed? Is it something that um,
Mm.
is noticeable with the people around you?
No, nothing is changed. Change happens. So nothing is changing. We always think the story is real. So you have a family and you have people around. The strange thing is, what maybe in the beginning, when that whole thing fell away, it wasn't that clear. But now it's, you could say, in some way, you could say it's more obvious, or more easy to talk about it very normally. There is no family. There are no children. They can happen. They can come, and then, oh, they are there, and the brain still works, because I know it's my daughter or something like that. But it's just a meeting, and that's it. There's no past. There is just what's happening. But it's already the same as you, because there's never a past. But we are trying to adjust, to put it on that, and then to think that there is something going on about that. There is no past, so the meeting is just new, but there's no before. So I can't say there's change, because there's never a development. So change happens, because then maybe they're growing, they seem to be older, something like, in that sense, change, but it's just happening.
Do you
So
feel emotional changes with different people when someone walks in the room that you have a long history with, like your daughter, as opposed to someone that you don't know? Can you feel a difference
No,
between people.
no, no. It's just what's happening. So I'm not. There is no comparing. I don't know. There's just what's happening at that moment, and it's also very quickly forgotten. So I can't even. Much of the time, with my husband, we're laughing about it because I can't remember. It's just gone. So there's that happening, that meeting, and then afterwards, yeah, maybe some things when I'm trying to remember the last meeting with my daughter, you could say, but it's very vague. So I don't know. So, but it's not. This is not in the story. So the story is just a story, and it's very literally. There is no story. It's just only what's happening. We are so used to make a whole thing around it. What was before, and did you change, and did it was before this, and then now it's maybe different because we're looking for somewhere a better life, some clues maybe. Nothing is changing. Nothing is being better or worse. It's just what's happening. And that was already the case, so no change.
So you just don't go back into the story like maybe I do to compare. You can't even do it because everything is just happening fresh and new. There's no real going back and like, all the stories we weave in ourselves. You can't do it. Yeah.
It's just not coming up. It's not that I think, oh, don't have to do it anymore or something like that. It's just not coming. It's just not there. So that's the easy part. It's very easy. It's not that I reach that point that I can put it away or something like that. It's just not there. So it's very easy. And there's no, what's also fell away is the feeling or the sense or the belief there's something not right yet, or there's something wrong or something like that. And in a way, it's very normal. There's no notice of it. But when I'm talking to people, then I think, oh my God, it's huge, because most people are into that there's still something wrong, or maybe they're using not the word wrong, but it's not right yet or something like that. And then they're growing or developing or anything. That's not there either.
Yeah, that's what I see.
When there's a silly way of reacting, it can be, that's it. There's no thinking about, oh, I should do that better next time or things like that. It just doesn't happen. It's just like that. And maybe there's also no escape. So when there's a silly question, then if there can be like feeling a lot of that you get very warm, then that's what's happening. And then it's getting away. So there's also no escape when there's something happening and it's silly and it's getting warm. Then that's completely happening. It's more, how can you say, it's full on, more full on in that sense, you could say that. When there's a me, it's trying to not feeling the uncomfortable parts and trying to feel more comfortable, more happy. When that's not happening, that when there's uncomfortable parts or pain or embarrassment or getting more, that's completely there.
Yeah, because we pull ourselves out when something uncomfortable happens. We go into our minds and say, oh, and then we're not in the moment anymore. We're thinking, oh, I should have done this, I should have done that. And instead you're feeling it full on and just letting it happen.
No, it's not letting it happen. It has nothing to do with that, because there's no choice. There's no choice. So when there's that, then it's because then now we can think, oh, full on, that's better than what I do. that's me is very intelligent in doing that. It's the same. When this is full on, but when the me is, when there's a feeling and the me, and there is a lot of thoughts in the mind, and then it's maybe less than, that's also complete. That's not wrong. That's not, oh, I'm not doing that, I'm not in the moment. That's something on top of it, that judging it. It's just that. And it's that. It's not wrong.
So the me is just a bunch of thoughts on top of what is already going on. And it really isn't controlling anything. It just thinks it is, and everything is happening outside of our control, right?
Yeah, and the odd thing is, there is already no me. So we are so convinced that you are someone, and that's already the case, that there's just body, there's just thoughts coming. So there's also, it's not the me having thoughts. Maybe sometimes when we are talking about this, it's a way of trying to explain how the me works. But at the same time, there is no me. So that's a paradox. There is already no me. So the thoughts are just thoughts. It's not your thoughts or something like that. It's just thoughts.
So can life be compared to like a movie happening and we have no control over it? That's it. We just, part of that is us thinking we have control over it.
Yeah. But yeah, it's not, we don't have control of it. There is no control. So there is also, you think you are someone. Some people are thinking, oh, Rose has no me anymore. It's worse than that. There is also no Rose. That's odd, because that goes too far for a lot of people, because that's, you think the body is real and there's maybe something not in control of, but it's, there's nothing going on. It's just body. Maybe you see a lot of times you don't see the whole body, you see only heads. Well, then there's heads. It's not that, oh, it's so making it real. It's just nothing really happening. So nothing is important. Trying to get to make it and to understand it, you can do it, but it doesn't bring you anywhere. It doesn't matter if you understand or not. It's just life, just like little children, just, I don't know, you do just doing without reason. And then we make reason of it and point, this is the point, or this is the reason, or why do I do that? No, why? Just doing, like children. But we think we are not. We think we are responsible, but we're not.
Thank you.
Thank you for asking. There's a chat. Is the witness also part of me? Yeah, the witnesses, because then you're witnessing yourself. There's somebody watching you. That's, I can remember. I find that in sometimes I thought, oh, it's, you could say, awareness of yourself, and then you feel like, oh, I'm aware and I can look at myself and notice what is happening. But it's also, there's always somebody looking at you. Oh my God, I found that awful. So when that fell away, here there's no awareness, there's no witness, there's just what's going on. Yeah. There can be also looking at yourself, and then there's some maybe judging, or this is good, this is not good, or maybe I could do it like this. All those thoughts can happen, and that's that energetic thing. When there's somewhere something not right yet, there's the me helping to make it right. And the thoughts are a tool to make it right, trying to make it right. But the misunderstanding is there's something wrong. There's not something wrong. It's already complete. It's just like what is happening. It's just like that. It's just body like that. So when there's a me, there's also some agenda. Always there's something behind what is going on. Because there's always trying to get something, to manipulate, to want to something, and that's underneath everything. There is a reason, there's trying to make contact, so there's something going on beneath. There's always something like that. And when there's no me, that it's just like there's only that. It's like little children also, they're just behaving. There's no reason I do that because of or anything like that. It's just behaving. There's just behavior. And that's it's just an innocence. It's innocence. Innocence in the sense of no agenda. There's no agenda. Here in this message, there's no agenda. There's not trying to convince or that people recognize it or anything. There are no people. There are just bodies there. There's no one to convince or to, what do you say, to overtuigen, to convince, yeah, I think.
Can you say something more about cause and effect? I heard you say that there is no cause and effect in another video.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. There's no time. Time is something of the abstract mind. We make it up, you could say. There's no time. Even in holidays, you don't even know what time it is, and it doesn't matter. But it seems in that world of working or things like that, time is really important. But there is no time. There is only what's happening, and there's only this. So this is not this moment, because then there's also another moment. It's just this. So there's something speaking, and you can talk in the story like, oh, there's a reaction, and that because you said that, I'm saying this and you hurt me, or things like that. And that cause and effect. We are very into that. We are so grown up, and it's so embodied that that's the normal thing, and you have to take care, or you have to do your best not to hurt anybody or something like that. And we're busy with that all the time, and it's endless because there's no one doing anything. So there's just what's happening. There's just saying, and then there's maybe another person, and that's they say, "Oh, what you said, I'm very that did hurt me," or something like that. Then that's what's happening. So there can be pain. There, it's not like, oh, now this is a very peaceful person, and this is not hurting people anymore, and it's very quiet and blah blah blah. I don't know. Maybe I'm saying something and people feel hurt or angry. Then there's anger. It's not because of me. Yeah, just there's anger, and it's not like, yeah, because the me is very into how do you do that. And when there's anger, how do you react? Is that, oh, there's just anger? No, it's just normal. When there's somebody anger, maybe there's a reaction or not a reaction. It's just normal, but it's not seen as like, oh, the whole system about trying to please somebody or to not hurt anybody. That's that agenda. So when you try not to hurt somebody, there's also an agenda, trying to speak a bit like this or anything. I was a pleaser. I was trying to not people making angry or something like that. That's then there's anger. And then you can't say what will happen because you don't know. And that's what the me does. They want to know, you want to be safe. So it seems like, oh, when I'm doing that, I will be safe. You never be safe because suddenly there comes something still going through that. And so you never will be safe. But there's no safety, there's no control. It's just what's happening. But so what? Nothing is wrong. So there can be pain, but it's not my pain. It's just pain, and that's really that's different. When there's a feeling like, oh, this is my pain, and I feel hurt. Oh, hurt is already a story. Like, oh, I'm hurt. So somebody did something wrong to me. Nobody does something wrong to me. When there's pain, there's just pain, and maybe there's a reaction on it, but I don't know. It's completely different when it's not my pain. It's just pain or anger. But anger can come up, of course. It's you can't describe it. You can't say it's like that. I don't know. But it's the freedom. It's freedom of there's no restrictions anymore. That's the me doing like this is better because otherwise there will be consequences. There's nothing going on that. So there can be anything, of course, but that's always been the case. So no one is safe, no one is in control, no one is no. All those things that it won't be always happiness. No, that it's life. Anything can happen. That's the freedom, and it's everything. So there's no cause and effect. So there's no one. So there's just what's happening, and it's only that. It's saying, talking, pain. But you can't make something of it because when you think about, so there's no cause and effect. So when the people are angry, it's just angry there. It has nothing to do with me. That's a concept. So you can't make an image of it or make something of it. That's the difficulty with this. There's no clues in it, or no ways of reacting or knowing what to do. It's not knowing.
You mentioned one time that like we feel like, say, anger is in our body, but it's not. You said it was just in the room.
Yeah. It's space. Yeah. Yeah. Because we think that all what we see, you see body, you see room, it's solid, but it's not solid. It's just energy. So it's when there's a when you think I am this, but this is my body, I am in my body, and when there's anger, it's my anger. So the experience is that you feel it in your body, because that's so convincing. When that's not there, it's very obvious. It's not in the body. It's, you know, it's in space somewhere. It's happening. So it's not my anger. It's also not the body. It's also an energy, and it's just energy. It's not important or threatening. It's just anger. Yeah, can be there.
But you can't feel someone else's anger, right? That's in
There
the
is no
room.
someone else's
Oh,
anger.
you got me.
Yeah, and but it's so strong. We are so into that. That is my anger. That's all a bit new thing. Like, oh, this is not my anger. It's your anger. That's also, I know that one. But it's just maybe happening in the room. It's nobody's anger. Can be there. Some people feel it somewhere more. Yeah, I don't know why. Yeah. Hmm. That's strange to hear that it's not in the body, but it's somewhere. Huh? Okay, there's another chat. Politics of this world seems so real, and lots of suffering because of maintaining all systems which benefit a few, yet suffering is common. Ooh, what's the question? It's just some saying something, or you have a question? Politics seems so real. Yeah, everything seems real. And politics is one thing of thinking the world is very real. There's a real world. There's no world. There's just this. This is everything. So there's no outside. When you're sitting in a room, you could say, then there's no outside that room. That's what we can imagine, that there's something happening over there. That's just a dream, the dream of the world happening. There's happening a lot of things. And that's seems very real and maybe threatening, or you want to discuss it or anything. It's just a dream. Yeah. And when there's a me, there's suffering. The me is a constant looking for a better world, a better life, a better day. So it can't see this is already it. So there's something wrong. So it has to be better. This is awful. Or this is not what I want. Or I want to be more feel no pain anymore. I want to have much more money, because this is an awful life. Or it's always something not right or not good, or I'm not feeling happy, and that's not right, or that's not justice or anything. So in that is the suffering, that it's not right. And for me, it feels very strange to say, yeah, but this is it, and this is that doesn't mean can be hunger. There cannot be hunger. Then there's hunger, but there's nothing going on. Then that's wrong. That's for me. That's very strange. Yeah, there's always right and wrong for me. There's no right and wrong. It's just what's happening.
So do you think everything, and say I identify with this body and this is me, but maybe you don't identify with anything, just everything. You don't think you're a body in the room, you are just the room, the whatever is appearing.
No, it's not like that. It's more simple. There's nothing going on about what is happening. So there's God. It's the most simple thing. It's just walking in a room. There's not thinking, oh, there's no the room isn't real or something. There's nothing going on. There's just walking in the room. And there's a brain still working, so there's also recognizing this is a room or things like that. So it's not about brain damage that you don't remember anything anymore. And it's sometimes more obvious than than that nothing is real, and sometimes it's just yeah, it's just bucking, or it's there's nothing going on about it. That's not the case. We're so used to trying to name it or trying to understand it or trying to and you can't hear that that's just biking. That's very normal. It's not a special way. That's not only me. That everybody does the same. There's no one. There's already no one. So there can be maybe walking is easier. Then there's walking. That's already the case, of course. But and then there can be whole a lot of thoughts about going on about what's going on and thinking about yesterday or things like that. That can be happening. That's also what's happening. And the walking is happening. When the me is not there anymore, all those thoughts about what's going on and things like that, that's not there. It's just not coming. So the walking is the same as the walking of you or so. It's not exactly the same, but it's just there's just walking. There's also just walking, and on top of it, there's somebody who think this is my body and I'm walking, and oh, I feel some pain here, or maybe I had to do that, and then the whole thing's going on. That's the difference. That's the only difference, not in the walking, but in that whole thing, that whole dream with it. But that's not wrong. That's just what's also going on. So, but that's also the suffering, of course. It's so simple. When I heard when there was still a me around and things like, I found it, but it's just sitting. It's very easy, nothing going. And there's making a list of, and then going shopping, and then taking that list with me, or maybe forgetting it. It's the same as before in that sense when we talk about the story. It's just that character, what's going on, that's still the same. Maybe it's more blossoming in the sense that there are no change, there are no change in that sense, in the sense of you couldn't do that, or that's wrong, but it's still embodied. That those concepts and beliefs and behavior, thinking, oh, this is the good behavior, and that's embodied. That can still be there. It can be still in the body. That's one of the characteristics still that can be there. So what? It's going nowhere. It's just, this is not a special person. This is just Rose in the going shopping and eating, walking, sitting in the garden. There's nothing special about it. You can't see. Well, I thought when this happened, I thought before that whole me fell away, I thought when it will happen, you will see it. It will be seen, and it will be no. There no. It's not like, oh no, for yourself. Also, it's not like, oh my God, this is special, like a special feeling or freedom or something like that. That in a split second, there was also disappointment in that sense, because I thought, oh my God, it would be very special and everybody will see it and there's a kind of energy will come or any. I was thinking that, and it was just like, oh my God, it's always been like this. Oh my God, oh, I simple. Oh, it's also a laugh. It's like, oh my God. Of course, it's like this.
Wonder how that explains other people. They supposedly have energy around them that everyone can feel when they go into satsangs, and they, you know, how if you say you can't, no one can tell with you. I wonder. I guess you're just going to say that that's just happening. There's no reason.
No, there can be, but a lot of people. What I notice in other people's satsangs is that there's still something around, like trying to make something clear, or in that to people, trying to see other people, like individuals who can do something with that message. So there can be still somewhere some me around, but it can be very subtle, because the message can be very clear, but when there's still a me around and very subtle, they're still talking to someone. And I notice a lot of people are talking to someone. So maybe that's, and some people are charismatic also, and they have that. But when they are talking to someone, it's just not the same message. It's not wrong, but it's not the same message. When I was, before this all happened a long time ago, I was into education with parents and children and things like that. And it was very big. So I had a lot of people coming to my meetings, and I could tune in, and then everything was suddenly, people asked questions and everything was, I could make it very clear. And then, but I was on my throne, and it was like, and there was a lot of energy going around, and for people, I was the one who knew, and that was very a special gift. It seemed like a special gift. And then after those meetings, I had a lot of energy. It was like, this was a good meeting and things like that. And then suddenly in one of those meetings, that gift, you could say, that fell away. So I didn't know anymore. And that was, for me, it was awful, because that was my tool. That was my tool to make people things clear. And then suddenly that fell away. So it seems like, oh, there's something gaining, but it's more about loss, losing everything. It's losing everything. There's nothing left. So for some people, it seems like, oh, I want that too. And when I told this, and I know some people say, oh, but I don't want that. No, it's about loss. It's not about reaching something, trying to reach no me or trying to reach freedom. It's about loss. There's nothing going on anymore. So Rose, there's nothing important or special, or I was in that period, I was very special, and I felt like, oh God, I felt good and things. No, it's more when I do meetings, there's after those meetings, it's the same as during the meetings. It's no difference. Just what's, yeah, walking outside or something like that. Feeling pain in my toes, something, or not my toes, but just to talk in the story. Mm. Mm. We've put so much energy in our identity and who I am like this, and I am already I have done a lot of work, and so it's much more, it feels already much more free, but there's still something not going on. It's not right. It's not finished yet, or things like that. And so we put a lot of energy, maybe a lot of money. I did a lot of money in that, of having a better life, and the work that the body is working better again. And we're thinking we did it. Oh my God, when that fell away, it's like, oh, it's about loss. It's not that I did that work. That was just the dream of trying to make it right. And oh, that's just not there anymore. So it's not even my body when there's pain, or there's nothing going on about that, but that's just pain. So there's no working on it or trying to know what is happening there so I can get rid of the pain or something like that. So all that whole system of trying to reach, and how what therapy or what things you're doing to make it more right, it's just falling away. So this is really about loss. This is death. This is death. It's not Rose with a me, it's just death. Rose without a me.
When you were doing you said you were doing group meetings before, and you had like a gift. You, what was that? And how is it possible that you lost it?
It was a survival mechanism, and that's all things that I thought. A lot of people thought I had a gift. I could see, I could tune in, and I immediately knew what was going on in somebody. It was a gift, or it was a survival mechanism, just to be safe, to know what is going on around me, so I feel safe that I'm there will nothing happen that I won't see. I thought, and then sometimes when happened that somebody did something, said something to me I didn't see coming. Oh, that was awful, because I was so in control. I could see it before a lot of time, but sometimes people just, yeah, I don't know, they said something about me, and then so that it was control. It was finally that silly gift. I called it a gift. A lot of people call it. I think it was more the control and a survival mechanism, but was very strong, and a lot of people like it very much. So it was developed also in that sense.
Was it like psychic? Considered a psychic?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That sounds like a good one.
Yeah. A lot of people thought that too. I was very like, oh my God, I have that, and that would make me someone who had that, and people liked it very much, and I got a lot of positive reactions, and yeah, it was nice, but just fell away. Yeah.
And you don't have any sense of loss with that falling away? There's no wishing you had it back or anything?
No, because it was in the end, it felt like a relief, because there's always focusing on the outside world, on other people. Like there was something, it's like an alertness in some way. And that maybe other people don't sense that. I did sense it. And then it was like an alertness and knowing what's going on. And now it's just not being, no, nothing is busy with that. When something is happening, it's happening. It's much more relaxed. Don't need it. Also not that attention. It was also like, that's also a thing. It gave me a lot of attention. Yeah. No, it's not there anymore. So, but it doesn't matter. This is already it. It doesn't matter if there are 40, 20 or 3 people. Then there's 3 people. Well, doesn't matter. So, yeah. People don't like it. I think a lot of people don't like this. So what? It's so obvious and clear, and there's no need to tell this. There's no need, but it's just happening. And when it's not happening, when there's no one coming to the meeting, maybe I'm sitting here with the computer, sitting there for an hour and then doing something else.
Do you think that you have less activity now, where maybe before you might have felt you had to entertain yourself, or you had to go do something to be active, and now maybe you're just content with whatever, sitting in the house?
I don't know. Maybe there was a thing like, I remember there was something going on like, oh, I have to do every day. I have to go outside when the sun is shining, because in Holland, there's not every day the sun is shining. So something like that, that's not there anymore. But yeah, maybe there's, I don't know. No, it's, the strange thing is, it's not so much, oh, what shall I do? When we ask is what you are going to do today. Some days I know, because there are appointments or something like that. A lot of days I don't know. It's just going like, I don't know, but it's not that special. It's just reading, and then no, that's enough. And then going, it's going to the garden, and it's not that special. It's sometimes it's the body is more active, some days the body is less active. Yeah, but there's nothing going on about, what is going on, this is so lazy, and this is not doing, and it's watching television on the day. I thought always during the day you can't watch television, it's only in the evening or something. So there's so many things, and maybe there's some that. So yeah, you can't say how it's going. It's so different. There's nothing going on about judging it, or this is not right, or something like that.
You are more content probably now with whatever.
It's more relaxed, but sometimes it's not even content. It's because there can be days like, I don't know what to do, and like this. There can be days like that. It's not only content. It can be. There can be still. There also the body is. There can be so much things there can be stress in the body, or anything, or maybe It can be happening anything. So it's not all day that there's a kind of joy. Underneath, there's a light some way, but there can be really days like, no energy, sitting on the car thinking, can do that. No. It can be like that too. It's the same as anybody, I think. You can't make something of it.
But when you have it, say you're in the house and your body feels tense, you don't know why. There's no reason why, right?
No, there's no. And still, because I was very good in people, because that was the gift I had, that I really knew immediately what was going on about that. So sometimes those thoughts are coming, but there's nothing, then those thoughts are falling away and there's nothing after it. So I don't know, but it doesn't matter. So in fact, it doesn't matter. It's just stress or tense, or then there's tense. So yeah, so what? It's not nothing really, but it's just tense. So tense, yeah. And we like, oh, I feel so tense. What has happened? Oh, maybe yesterday that was, and then the whole thing is going on. It's just a tense feeling, and maybe there's something. There's after 10 minutes, it's already different. I don't know, maybe or something else. But I'm trying to feel that, oh, maybe I'm not feeling everything. Maybe there's something I don't want to feel. Maybe it's better to sit and to feel what's going on, because the tense will, it says something. Oh my God, I did that a long time. It's endless. It's endless trying to make it better. Yeah, it's not that I'm not believing it anymore. It's just not happening. I can't see that's wrong. No, it's just tense. So it can be there for a time, and then maybe, and then after, I don't know when it, and then suddenly, and then sometimes you think like, oh, that was very tense. Oh, that's already gone. Oh, I didn't notice. So something like that. It just goes away. Or not, or it lasts maybe longer. It can be there like that. But it's impossible for me, because they're so jumping on it and trying to feel how it is, or trying to make an image of it, or to know, or to understand. This you can't understand. It's very difficult to tell how life is. Yeah. But I can say it's very simple and easy. Nothing is going on about how to. It's just going. Mm. Oh, it's already 12, past 12. Oh my God, I did forget. No. It was good. Thank you. Thank you for the meeting. We're going to stop now.
Thank you.